Nadine and Cenk Uygur, they destroyed this Zionist sellout, Piers Morgan. Take a listen.
And I'm interested if you've got the same answer or not. But I mean, do you personally, right now, do you support Hamas?
I don't condemn and I don't tell people who are living under occupation, living under genocide, how they can resist
but do you
their
support
occupation. I've never publicly expressed support for any specific parties or groups in Palestine, including the Palestinian Authority even. But I support all people who are oppressed to resist their oppression. You can't tell people that they don't have the right to defend themselves.
Okay, so I think Piers Morgan should be sued and he should be told the question he's asking can get anybody in trouble, in big trouble. In the Western countries, if you say, yes, I do support Hamas or I do not condemn Hamas, you can go to jail for up to 10 years minimum. And we know, especially in the United States, they will not only deport you, they will be blacklisting you and your life will be ruined. You will not be seen anywhere. In other words, you will be just vanish. Therefore, Piers Morgan, when he's asking this kind of nonsense, stupid question, I mean, these questions he believes will give him a lot of views and his video will go viral. I mean, can you imagine anybody says, yes, I do support Hamas, what Piers Morgan will do? And write on the title of his video, we found Hamas sympathizer, we found a terrorist here. Watch this video and share it with everyone. Nadine supports Hamas. Nadine agrees with Hamas. Cenk Uygur, they should be banned. They should be in jail. I mean, can you imagine what kind of chaos will ensue after anybody from his guest says we do support Hamas or we do not condemn? This guy, I do not know what he's fishing for, but this guy is an absolute asshole.
Except you do accept if you're not prepared to condemn a group like Hamas, then you are de facto supporting them.
I'm not going to condemn anybody who's defending themselves, and I won't condemn my people who are the victims of this.
Hang on.
So you condemn the terrorist state of Israel?
Hang on, Nadine. So did you condemn what they did on October the 7th?
Again, I think a lot of what we saw about October the 7th was actually lies, and they've been disproven.
Wow.
So, I don't know what conversation we're having here. They are. The 40 beheaded babies' lies was disproven. The
do you think the 1,200 people? Okay, well, let me be specific to you. Do you think? Let me be specific with my question.
We've seen Palestinians raped.
Hang on.
That's what I condemn.
Do you believe that 3,000?
Do you condemn Israel?
Can I ask you a question, please? Let me ask you a question, then respond. That's how this works. Do you believe that 3,000 Hamas terrorists crossed the border on October the 7th in 3 different phases and attacked indiscriminately any Israelis, in particular Jewish Israelis they could get their hands on, that they murdered 1,200 people, that they wounded, some of them irreparably in terms of injuries that will never be recovered from, nearly 7,000 more people, that they captured and kidnapped 250-odd people, including a baby, including Holocaust survivors. So do you accept those basic facts?
I mean, the U.S. government is currently negotiating, the continuous ceasefire with Hamas. Wow. And so it's clear that,
I'm just asking if you accept those facts.
Were taken.
Every single accusation is a confession. Piers Morgan, every single thing he mentioned happened on October 7. They are not backed up by any proof, any evidence. He's perpetuating the same narrative that the Zionist entity forced him or told him or paid him to do on every single show he is doing. This is mind-boggling how a person can be so pig-headed that he is so focused on this script that was fed to him by the Zionists that he never ever forgets that to mention in every of his shows. Unbelievable. This is what loyalty means, guys. This is what loyalty means. Even though his loyalty is to the devil, but this is what loyalty means. Unfortunately, the people, the pro-Palestinian who are fighting this oppression of the Zionist state of Israel, we do not have that much of loyalty like this guy, this demon has.
Nadine, I just asked you if you accept those facts.
I don't, like I said, it's clear whatever actions they've taken, and I'm not sure, what part of all of that is or isn't true. There's been a lot of propaganda, but it's clear that that was a response to oppression since 1948, to when Israeli groups, Zionist groups went into Palestinian villages like mine.
So just to be clear, you don't condemn that.
Even worse than that.
So you cannot condemn what they did that day.
Like I said, I can't condemn what has been repeatedly put in the media.
We've heard you loud and clear.
What I don't know is true. What I don't know to be true.
I know.
I don't
How very
condemn
convenient
people
that you don't
fighting
think
for
any
their
of it's
liberation.
true. I mean, we literally saw what they did through their own GoPro.
Okay, this video was posted, let's see, on March 13. Okay, so this is, obviously it doesn't matter, but March 13, they recorded this video, this interview. On March 18, in just one day, these Zionist monsters, they killed over 700 Palestinians. And this guy, this lunatic, this crazy liar, he is making a huge deal of October 7, where they killed, according to their version, 1,200 people, even though we do not believe that those 1,200 were killed by Hamas. According to the Hannibal directive, over 700 were killed by Israeli forces, not by Hamas. Nevertheless, he is making 1,200 deaths a big deal, but then in the next few days, again 13th of March, in just a matter of 5 days, his party of the devil, killed over 700 Palestinians. 300 or 400 of them were children in matter of just hours. So this guy, this is what he was supporting. This is the guy. This is who he is supporting. Unbelievable, but this is believable now because this is Piers Morgan's show.
Videos that they beamed to the world of them murdering innocent people. They literally beamed it in real time.
I believe Israel actually killed a lot of their people through the Hannibal directive.
They were proud of it.
Do you condemn the Hannibal directive that was directed towards their own people? If Israel cared about their hostages so much, why do they continuously bomb Gaza while they're there?
Right, Winston,
I believe a lot of what we saw on October 7th actually came from the Israeli side.
Okay, Winston, the Hannibal directive is a perfectly valid point, that it does appear that certain leaders on the Israeli side are now conceding there was a Hannibal directive, which is that they would basically stop their own people from being kidnapped. And if it meant taking their lives in that eventuality, that would have to happen. And there is some evidence that may have happened with some of the people who were killed. So let's be clear, right? I try and be very fair-minded about this. I go where the facts take us. The 40 beheaded babies turned out not to be true. It was stated as fact by an Israeli member of the Israeli forces. It turned out to be untrue.
And how many times you have mentioned that, how many times you have used that fake story to sell your shows? How many times? Piers Morgan now, after selling it enough time, hundreds of times, telling people the same stories, the same fake lies, the fake stories, now eventually he's waking up. Oh, by the way, guys, in my previous shows, 100 shows, I actually used a lie to appeal to you for the Zionist, but now, looks like these are not facts. These are all fake news. But Piers Morgan, he moves on from it so fast.
True, however, that some people were beheaded. It is true that babies were kidnapped. So these things are all a question of scale. I am very happy to condemn all of it because it was all a despicable act of terrorism. Winston, when you hear someone like Nerdeen, who is defending...
he said, I'm happy to condemn all of it. He never condemned Israel. He never called them a terrorist state. He never ever said a single word that will be appropriate, that will be befitting of the crime that they're committing, the genocide they're committing. He never said a word. I'm happy to call it all unfair, all this, all that. This is a fake guy. This guy is a liar. He lies through his teeth, and he has absolute no shame, no human dignity, no respect for people who, according to him, believe that they are not even human beings.
This guy's right to be in America. When you see her so, in my opinion, people can have their own view about the way she's responded, but so glibly brush off what Hamas did that day. This has always been my problem with this debate. If you just cannot find it in yourself, Cenk, if I asked him, would condemn what happened that day, because he has done repeatedly. And then you can have a rational conversation. If you can't condemn it and you put it all down as some form of resistance or opposition, you lose me. Winston.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know really what to respond to that. It's clear what happened on October 7th. And from what little research I've done into Nadine's work, she seems to have supported what happened to October. It's not that she's not even condemning.
There's not just one day in the world, right? I mean, so you guys keep talking about October 7th.
You would condemn what happened, right?
Yeah, of course. But do you guys condemn the 58-year brutal occupation of the Israelis, butchering, slaughtering, oppressing the Palestinians? Do you condemn that they've killed 14,500 children, 4,350 children under the age of 5, 800 babies under the age of 1? They've incinerated them alive. So how can you now be honest and fair and say that Israel is clearly a terrorist state?
I will be honest and
fair. Well, that statement from Cenk is going to be a huge torture for Piers Morgan. Oh my God. Oh, I am going to be... Oh, I don't know how I will sleep. I don't know. They cannot take it. They do not want to take it. They do not want to face the facts. They do not want to face reality. They live in their Zionist bubble. Whatever is being fed to them, they read the script, the same one over and over again. They cannot get out of it. They are incapable of thinking outside the box. They're incapable of seeing the reality, the truth of it. Now again, this was recorded on March 13th. On March 18th, they massacred 700, and most of them were babies and women and children. And this is the guy, and this is the group that Piers Morgan and his other followers of the Zionist regime is supporting. Still today, they blame Hamas for March 18 massacre. Even today, they blame it on Hamas, on the other party. They are so innocent. They are so good. They are so angelic that you can never, and they can never make any mistake, and you can never blame them for anything.
I think that Israel's right to self-defense has now gone too far. I think I've been saying this for months. I think they have killed too many innocent civilians. They keep saying that they have. Proportionally, it's been better than any other modern urban warfare, to which I respond, actually, there is a massively disproportionate number of children, i.e. under 18s, in Gaza, half the population of 2 million.
Yeah, that's all he has to say. Oh, this was the response of the Zionist was disproportionate, and that's about it. I mean, come on. You are calling it genocide a disproportionate response. That's all you got. That's the best you can do. You have no more sympathy. I mean, we do not even have to look at his words that he's uttering, those filthy words at the moment. Just take a look at what he said with Tucker Carlson. He said that it is moral, it is justified that women and children be killed during a war. It is absolutely justified. No problem with that. And he was talking in context of the genocide in Gaza. So this guy, what do you expect from him, right? You expect nothing from him. I mean, this guy is a complete lost person who has sold his soul. Subscribe for more.